Alright, so let me run it through there. So part B, the city position vectors of 2 points A and B relative to the origin O are such that OA is 3I minus J, OB is 5I minus 4J. Now, I think the first objective was to write the Cartesian form. This is in the Cartesian form into the column form, right? So into the column form, I can just write these vectors one time in the column form because I like to work them out in column form, right? What answer did I get for this part though? Uh-huh. Right, negative 4. So the unit vector of AB will simply be the vector AB divided by the modulus of the vector AB, or 1 over the modulus times the vector. Now, to get AB, A is the starting point and O is the ending point, so there's going to be AO plus OB, right? The letters in the middle must be the same. So this is going to be AO will be negative 3 positive 1 plus OB will be 5 negative 4. So when we add these now, we're going to get negative 3 plus 5 is 2, and 1 plus negative 4 is negative 3. So the vector AB is 2 negative 3. So to get the modulus of AB now, I will work out this one time. That will be the square root of 2 squared plus negative 3 squared. 2 squared is 4 and negative 3 squared is 9. So 4 plus 9 is what? 13. So this is square root of 13. So I should have write this in a better order, but anyway. So the unit vector, I could put it as unit vector of AB would be equal to 1 all over root 13 times 2 minus 3, which is basically, I'll put the rest on top here, 2 over root 13 and negative 3 over root 13. Now this is in the column form here, so we can write it back in the Cartesian form. If we want, I will put that up here. So unit vector of AB. That will be 2 over root 13I minus, because this is well, plus minus, plus negative 3 over root 13, so it will just be minus 3 over root 13. And this will be G. And that's the answer there. You got this, right? Right? But you're working the need to be as long as how I have it there, but here, the details. Right? Yeah. So the acute angle AOB. So what the angle, the origin is. Let's say we had this, right? Now we know that OA is positive 3, negative 1. So that here, if here is 3, here will be like negative 1. Let me say that is negative 1. So let me say here is E. Um, OB is 5, negative 4. This is just a sketch of it. So let's say negative 4 is down here. So 5, let me say 5 is here. So it will be like that. Let me draw the vectors there now. Just a little sketch of it. So here is O. So here is B. Here is E. They want to know this angle here, which is theta. Not so? Mm-hmm. And you can even connect A and B like that, right? So you want to find the angle at O there because it's AOB. So we use the formula cos theta is equal to the product of the vectors. So it will be OA dot OB dot product all over the product of the modulus. So it will be the modulus of OA times the modulus of OB. Um, Now the product of this will be um, we'll put that there. So OA is 3 negative 1, OB is 5 negative 4. So the product will be 3 by 5 plus negative 1 by negative 4, which is 15 plus 4, which is basically 19. So that's the product of OA and OB is 19. This is all over the length of OA. So the length of OA, which will be the square root of, so that will be 3 squared plus negative 1 squared, which is basically the square root of 10. And then the modulus of OB, try to take your time with these calculations. The square root of 5 squared plus negative 4 squared. Now 5 squared is negative 4 squared. I'm gonna write this better. So it's negative 4 squared. 5 squared is 25 and 4 squared is 16. So 25 plus 16, 41. So we got substitute that into this formula here now. It will be root 10 times root 41. When you multiply two terms with the square root symbol there, you could combine the terms inside the square root symbol. So basically this is 19 all over the square root of 410. So theta is equal to cos inverse of 19 divided by the square root of 410. So theta would be equal cos inverse of 19 divided by 410. I getting 20.2 degrees. Again, your working could be a lot shorter than what I have it than what I have here. It would still be correct. But you understand the solution here, right? Alright, so let me just run through the others quickly. So let's say given the coordinates of the points A and B are 7, negative 3, and 2, 1 respectively, state the position vectors corresponding to the points A and B in this form here. So OA is the position vector that will consist of 7i plus negative 3j. So 7i minus 3j. Because the 7 is x and the 3, negative 3 is y. Right? So therefore OB using the same procedure would be 2i plus 1j or just j. Right? So you understand this, right? So now the way to find AB. So I'll just write back. Okay, so I'll put the formula here. So AB would be equal to AO plus OB. Alright, remember that OA was 7, negative 3. So AO would be negative 7, positive 3. Right? Plus OB, which is 2, 1. So what we're going to get here is negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now we answer here. Now let's say part 3 to calculate the value of the scalar product OA times OB. So OA dot OB is the scalar product. So this is going to be 7, negative 3 times 2, 1. And this will work out to be 7 by 1 is 7 plus negative 7 by 2 is 14. So multiplying across. Yeah, 7 by 2 is 14, my bad. Plus negative 3 by 1 is negative 3. So 14 plus negative 3 is basically 11. So the answer is 11. Understand this, right? So I'm just going to run to the last question here quickly. Um, just to get this topic out of the way here. So we have part 3 in the 2025 paper here. They say the position vectors of 2 points A and B coordinates are A gonna be 2, 3, and B gonna be negative 3, 2, respective to the region, right? Respectively and relative to the region O. Express the unit vector of AB in this form, which is the Cartesian form. So you have OA is equal to 2, 3, OB is equal to negative 3, 2. To get AB, we're gonna say this is AO plus OB. Now, if OA is 2, 3, then AO would be negative 2, negative 3, plus OB, which is negative 3, 2. So negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5, and negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So that is the vector AB. They wanted to write this in the Cartesian form. So AB will now simply be negative 5I plus negative 1G. Yeah, or negative 5I minus G. Simple, correct. Right? Now, part 2, they say find the angle AOB. So you can see the general trend. Questions coming similar. You just did a question like this. I want you to find the angle in between. Look at here. And this is 2023. Right? Um, so I'm gonna make the sketch of this one. Just gonna write the formula. So theta would be cos inverse of the product, the scalar product OA dot OB, which I think we already get, all over the modulus of OA times the modulus of OB. So that's gonna be cosine inverse of what we did get for the product. Did we work out the product already? No, we didn't. Or that was our previous question. Alright, so the product of OA and OB could be, I could write that up here. So OA dot OB will be 2 by negative 3 is negative 6, plus 3 by 2 is 6. Again, 0. So that is the product. So again, 0 for the top. So obviously, I don't even need to work out the length there because I already have 0 on top, right? If I have 0 as my numerator, it don't matter what my denominator is, I will get 0 for the entire fraction here. So I just put in my OA times OB. I don't even need to work out this because I have 0 for the numerator. It doesn't matter what the denominator is, this entire thing in the bracket will be 0. So theta would simply be cos inverse of 0, which is basically 90 degrees. Now, if the angle is 90 degrees between the two vectors, what does that tell you about the two vectors? If the angle between the two vectors is 90 degrees, what does that tell you about the two vectors? So the two vectors are perpendicular since the angle between them is 90 degrees. Hence, the relationship between the vector OA and OB, the vectors are perpendicular since the angle between them is 90 degrees. Understand this, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, that as well. The scalar product is 0, so therefore they perpendicular. So you can also state that because the scalar product is 0, hence they are perpendicular. Because once the scalar product is 0, the numerator will be 0, and therefore the entire thing will be 90 degrees regardless. Understand?